Preparing your leaving story. What to say when someone asks, "Why are you no longer at your last job?" Do not sabotage your career transition. Nothing sabotages the career transition process more than unresolved feelings of anger, sadness, and fear. For many people, explaining why they left their previous organization is a very difficult task. It can touch on the most sensitive nerve, which may cause your networking contact to become reluctant to help you, or worse, ruin your chance of a successful interview. If you have lost your job, you are probably angry. This is not a bad thing in and of itself. What can be destructive is the way in which you choose to express your anger. Spreading your version of the story, complete with blame and bitterness, will only hurt you. There may be a lot of truth in what you say, but saying it indiscriminately is not helpful to your future prospects. Keep your emotions under control. If you go into interviews without having your emotions under control, a skilled interviewer will hook you every time. Employers will not offer you future opportunities if you are perceived as being unable to cope with the past. Moreover, if word gets around that you are openly expressing your bitterness, your networking contacts will be highly unlikely to be of assistance. You may be unaware that you are still harboring negative feelings about your job loss. You may not be disguising your negative feelings as well as you think. Therefore, deploy coping strategies which help you to come to terms with the loss and keep your emotions in check. If you cannot do so, then ask yourself whether you can effectively engage in the job search process at this time. You must be ready to project an impression that you have moved on and are prepared to fully commit to a new role. Remedy: preparation and strategic presentation. The remedy involves preparation and strategic presentation. Depersonalize the leaving story by setting it in an understandable and verifiable context. Setting the agenda. The fact that you have lost your job is less important to others than how you are perceived to be dealing with it. The following discussion will help you prepare and create your leaving story so you are ready to talk about yourself confidently, professionally, and unemotionally. We will provide step-by-step guidelines to write an effective leaving story that will get you through your job search. Leaving story guidelines. In deciding what to say, make your leaving story sound like an understandable business decision that you have accepted. For example, relate it to a company or industry trend like downsizing or offshoring. Stick to the facts and do not speculate about the reasons. Every word must be true, but you do not have to tell the entire truth. Keep it brief with a minimum amount of necessary detail, which can be corroborated. Make it long enough that you don't invite more questions or raise red flags. Be aware the interviewer may already know of your circumstances through conversation with the search firm or a few well-placed phone calls, especially in communities or industries where everyone knows everyone. Watch out for unofficial reference checks, grapevine, or social media. There are a few important things to keep in mind in delivering your leaving story. Prepare and write your story with utmost care. Avoid personalization and potential contradiction. Be the one to bring it up first to show that you have nothing to hide. When asked about your background in an interview, fit it into your career history, as if your transition is just another chapter in your career. Be comfortable with it. Provide sufficient facts and truths so you do not come across as evasive. Your tone must not contain innuendo or underlying animosity, and it must not contradict the positive words you've used. State the facts, anticipate your emotions, don't justify or make judgments. Memorize and practice the story until it sounds spontaneous and free of anger or bitterness. It should take approximately 15 to 30 seconds. What rationale can you provide for leaving? Most reasons for job loss today are due to internal or external changes in the industry or organization. Refer your listener to well-known facts about the organization, industry, region, or other relevant factors. Talk about the trends, changes in strategy, or the new management focus. Explain the changes between the organization's need and your strengths. Never allow your leaving story to just stand alone. After a comfortable pause, move directly into the "What's next for me now" portion of your response, tailored to suit the particular interview. By sounding confident and leading your listener into your desired future, you reduce the likelihood of further discussion of your leaving story. Here are some examples of plausible rationales for leaving. Following the acquisition of a major competitor, the company's reorganization ultimately came to a downsizing, eliminating my position. I'm looking forward to. Due to a change in industry regulation, the focus of our work changed. My key skills of X and Y were no longer utilized. I'm very interested in this role because I see it as the culmination of my industry experience and abilities. I was one of many affected by the loss of a key client's business, necessitating a reduction in staff. To recap, sandwich the leaving story between two positives. It's a three-part process. 1. Start with your last role in your career wrap-up. Describe something positive about your role, responsibilities, and strengths. Don't end with your leaving story. Lead the interviewer into a brief explanation of what you want to do next. 2. Provide the leaving story with rationale of why you are no longer there. 3. State what's next as it relates to the person you are speaking with and the future. This template was used to create the following sample leaving story. In my most recent role with ABC Company, I was responsible for the operational effectiveness of a technology department of 20. Following the acquisition of a competitor, the company consolidated technology functions, resulting in the elimination of multiple positions, and mine was one of them. I gained valuable experience as a leader in this role. I streamlined processes and improved operational efficiencies, and now I want to take these skills and apply them to an operations manager role in a global technology firm. If you are interviewing, name the firm. Let's review what to do and not to do. Do not tell people you received a severance package. Do not badmouth your former boss, colleagues, or organization. Don't say you were bored with your job. And do not complain about your lack of career progression. Do bring up your leaving story before being asked. Be concise with appropriate amount of detail. Relate it to the changes or trends in the company, industry, or market. Provide a version of the truth that will be corroborated by your former employer or others. Be factual and avoid speculating or personalizing. Use the three-part sandwich process. Prepare and practice until it sounds natural. Finally, the more you practice your leaving story with your consultant, friends, family, and networking contacts, the more it will flow naturally and the less likely you'll be caught off guard when asked about it.